Hello everyone! Happy weekend, and in this video I'm going to tell you all why we moved to Norway. Actually, it began with my dream of working abroad. I actually wanted to become a doctor first, but then it changed along the way when I was about one semester away from graduating my BS biology degree. And my parents just told me that, okay, I think instead of proceeding to take a medical course to become a doctor, maybe you should take nursing course instead. And I protested for quite some time. I cried and I was confused because for me, 4 years of taking bachelor degree in biology was just wasted. Hi. And it turned out that my parents wanted me to work abroad, and it also turned out that I also wanted to work abroad, so that's why I said yes to that plan. And I think it was one of the best decisions that we have ever made. It was one of the best decisions that I have ever made because I never regret any single minute after I took up the nursing course. And of course, part of my education in BS biology, so some of the subjects were already credited. So when I took up nursing course, instead of taking it for 4 years, I was able to finish it in 3 years because of the subjects that I had already taken up and were credited in the nursing degree. And it was like kind of not challenging for me during the first semester, but when I started taking some time practice or like clinical instruction, or I was already having duties in different fields, in different departments in the hospital and community, I started to realize that I think this is the profession that I really wanted to. Though it's not becoming a doctor, which was my original ambition, but it's still in the medical field. So after I finished the course, I took the professional nursing board licensure examination right away, and thank God I passed it and I was able to get the license. And luckily, though there was already a surplus of nursing students in the Philippines or nursing graduates in the Philippines, I was able to find a job at the Metropolitan Medical Center in Metro Manila. And also luckily, I was able to get a position in the operating room. So I was like working as an operating room nurse, and it's a special field, or it's a special department, and I was just so thankful that I was able to find a job right away after acquiring the license. Because in the Philippines, you are not allowed to work as a nurse without the license, without passing the board exam. So I started to work at the operating room, and it took me 2 years, yes, more or less 2 years, before I started sending my application to other countries in order for me to work abroad. And I started taking up exams. I started researching the requirements in other countries, and Norway, of course, was one of the countries in my top list. And coming to Norway was easier than in other countries because we have relatives here, and it was actually my godmother who sponsored me to come to Norway. So I got a sponsorship, a guarantor, and it was valid for 3 months. So as long as you have a guarantor here in Norway, you can come to Norway as a tourist or as a job seeker. I actually came as a job seeker and 3 months job seekers visa. And it was really tough for me to start because Norwegian language was one of the requirements in able to work here in Norway, and I haven't studied the language beforehand. So when I came to Norway, I didn't even know the alphabet, how to pronounce the alphabet, and of course they have these extra letters a, o. So I didn't know about that. So when I came here, I was just motivated to study the language, to learn the language as fast as I can, as fast as I could. And as far as I remembered, I didn't waste any single time as long as I was awake. I wasn't sleeping. I was at the library, or even if I was taking the public transport, I was studying. So as far as I could remember, I had this very thick dictionary that translates English to Norwegian, because I had to learn how to form a sentence in different ways using, for example, this word. And everywhere, even if I was on the train or at the bus or in the library or wherever I was sitting, I was translating. I had this, for example, I had this magazine or newspaper. I always had pencil with me, and I was literally translating this word to English, and I was also writing down how to formulate a sentence using this new learned word, Norwegian word. So it was really tough, but I think it was already fun. And the fact that I had only 3 months to find a job, so it was really taking the best of me, or I was really trying all the best ways for me to learn the language fast, because it was the only medium that will make the way for me to be able to work here in Norway. And thank God I found an employer, and actually she's very also close to my family now, and she accepted me even if for me I was still speaking the language poorly, and she believed in me. I think she had this gut instinct that I will be a good worker or I will be a good employee, which I really showed that they will not regret of hiring me. So that it all started by working as a nursing assistant, and then few months after, I started to talk with my husband that maybe he could follow here in Norway, that he could resign from his job and follow me. And eventually he said yes, but then we were like unanimous with the decision that in order for us to establish as fast as we could, so we will be leaving our eldest son with my parents first, and then eventually after maybe 6 months or a year, then we can reunite. And that was what happened. So he moved to Norway 6 months after I got my working visa, and then we were able to find jobs. He was also able to find job, and that it all started, that we moved to Norway that way. And then, so talking about this, it started in 2008, December 2008, when I came to Norway and then tried my luck. And in 2009 August, I was able to get this working visa. And then February of 2010, my husband was able to come here to follow me and was also able to find a job. And September 2011, we were able to reunite with our eldest son. And at that time, May of 2011, we have already acquired an apartment, which we were able to have a down payment. And that's why we were able to establish. And before our eldest son came here, we also started to buy all the necessary things and clothing that he will be needing. Everything was already prepared because that was what we have agreed on, that before we get our son, we should be able to have already an apartment to live, our own place to stay, and then he must have a room, and also clothes are already prepared. So everything was already prepared before we got him, or before we were reunited. And that's it. That's what and how our story started. That is the way how we moved to Norway. And why we moved to Norway, of course, financially. That is the reason why I took up nursing, because working as a nurse abroad gives you financial stability, a better source of income than working as a nurse in the Philippines. Unfortunately, that is the sad truth, but that is the main reason why we moved to Norway. And I think, again, that is one of the best decisions that we have made in our entire life. And now our family has grown. Now we already have 4 children, and we were able to transfer from an apartment to a house that we have actually acquired also through hard work and savings. And yes, it was our ambition, our drive to have a content life and living peacefully and happily and harmoniously. And thank God we are here. So that is our story. I'm actually at work right now having my break, so I was able to make this vlog, this short, and well, I was able to tell the timeline of our story of moving to Norway. And I think I will be telling more about how it is working here in Norway and what are other opportunities that await you or other people that are thinking of transferring or thinking of living here in Norway. And I hope I will be able to share more. So thank you so much for listening to my vlog. And again, I hope I will be able to share more. I will be glad to share more, but just give me some time, because just editing and vlogging and all this, you know how it is. But I will be sharing more, definitely, one vlog at a time. And again, I think that you will be inspired and maybe consider of living here in Norway, because like what I've said, it's one of the best decisions that we have made. So thank you again for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and see you around on my next video. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, of course, and share this video to your family and friends. Bye.